Baltimore Ravens. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On first down, it's Newton. Able to push his way through. Now he'll escape to his right. Oh, he's going to looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. Powers ahead at the 45, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short. Jackson now off the bootleg. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's good for... Raven first down, 15 yards there. On first down, this is Geis. Shoves him aside. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Tackle made there by Budda Baker.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
Geis with a carry on second down. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
Come on now. Gun. What is it?
Now Newton. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Flynn. A really good pickup of 28 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
From the red zone now, Newton. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Jordan Willis coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Hey, get right there.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. After the run, Newton going to throw. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're going to get this one up to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
He's going to let this one go deep. This is intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. Out of the gun, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Dorsett on the return. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll hand it down to Geis. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Hut.
They go play action now. Jackson, he's airing it out into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They begin the drive with Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, here's Newton. He sets to fire deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Here's Dorsett. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Detroit! Gun!
From the gun, it's Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City, and an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Like 80. Gun. 20.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Lets it go for Nelson. And this is caught at the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Watch 180.
Now Newton on first down. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Detroit!
After the interception, here's Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Leonard Floyd coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit!
To throw is Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jadeveon Clowney in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Under crush.
Now it's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Bryce Butler, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Newton. Steps away to his left. Able to shake him off. Trying to improvise. And now, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
I know I'm supposed to do the analysis here, but I've got to ask, how did he stay alive that long in the pocket?
Yeah, great footwork, which we know he has. If he would have been able to stay alive, get rid of the ball, or run for some yardage, he would have had a very unhappy defensive coordinator, I believe.
No doubt about that.
Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Detroit! Watch him now, Barney!
Now Jackson finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, these offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
Over! Back to the Philly, here we go! Detroit!
They stay on the ground. Geis again. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They go to Johnson again. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He completes it to Nelson. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
Here we go. Gun. Great. Do something. 20. 180.
Newton on first down. His throw incomplete. Chad Williams the intended target. And now it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Express. Ready. Set. 180. Gun.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Hey, get right there.
Johnson on the counter. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Tackled by Jordan Willis. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.